Hi, this is Joanne with All Things Digital Data. I'm thinking of changing the name because to All Things Data because the first story that I'm going to talk about is the researchers or scientists from UCLA transferred memory from one snail to another, which does not have to do with digital data. However, I do know it is an issue with knowledge management data when they want to preserve some of the memory of their higher ranked or senior employees as they're getting ready to retire or leave the company. So it was kind of an interesting story to hear about. So a group of scientists transferred what is considered memory, and I say considered memory because I'm wondering if it's more of a reaction to something, like a cause and effect, rather than real memory, but that's my opinion. But it's considered memory from one snail to another. Basically what they did was they would take these snails and shock the tail, I guess. They say that they didn't harm the snails, but I'm not going to argue with that one, but I'm just going to explain the experiment. So they shocked the tail, and the tail, the snail would have a reaction, and in the beginning when they weren't used to this experiment, it would only take them 10 seconds to react. As time went on, they knew to react for 50 seconds by releasing this ink. It was a way of them a defense mechanism in the wild. So what they did was take the RNA from that snail and put it in a snail who did not have any reaction to this shock on the tail. So, but when the RNA was transferred to a new tail, because most new snails who just got the treatment would only react for 10 seconds, but when they got the transfer, they were reacting for 40 seconds, which seems to conclude that they did get that memory on how to react. Kind of scary, kind of interesting. They said the implications of it can help Alzheimer's. Like I said, I think it is a transfer of knowledge from one person to another, which can cause implications. How many people out there have signed one of those non-disclosures where you can't give up whatever you learn at this company you can't use for so many years after you leave the company? So who's to say they not say that memory is our memory, it is our information? So I could see some legal implications there. I think that's way down the road and probably a hyperbole, let's hope. I also think they could be messing around with memory. If you had a traumatic experience, I can see people wanting to take that out, and I understand it, but I can't help but think that makes who you are, and I don't know. I think there's disturbing implications to it, but interesting nonetheless. Next, in the news is, I don't have it listed here, but I know what I wanted to talk about was the people are trying to help get you started in creating your own ISPs, which I kind of think is interesting. In the early days, yes, I'm an old fogey, you had a lot of little ISP companies. Some of you may have known Earthlink and MindSpring, were some and you would connect to the internet through these local ones, but then the bigger companies bought them out, and soon they just became these big conglomerates. So these companies are building these helping you to build an ISP, whether it's for your company or it did not appear that it was trying to help, the individual. It looked like it was mainly for corporations. But I thought that was interesting to see people trying to help with building an ISP. The links to this and the story about the snails will be in the description of the YouTube video, so check that out. And then lastly, net neutrality. Today's the day it gets voted on in the Senate. It is expected to squeak spy because they got one Republican vote, and John McCain is abstaining because he's of his medical issues. So it's probably going to pass, but a lot of news reports are saying that it's never going to make it to the House. The House won't. I got the impression that the House won't even vote on it. And on NPR this morning, I heard someone ask, well, then why are they doing it? And he said, well, it's probably because midterm elections are coming up and you can see who supported net neutrality and who didn't. Still, I think this is an important issue, and I suggest call your senators, tell them how you feel. I mean, to me, this should not be a bipartisan issue or a partisan issue. It should be everyone should be interested in this, and then to me, everyone is. So I don't understand these politicians, but what are you gonna do? And that's it for today. If you want to keep getting these updates, please subscribe. Thanks.